Hello, it's me, Warnish Radio to be exact. Oh, oh, oh. So I'm a newer creator. I'm mainly gonna talk about psychological topics, stuff I'm fairly passionate about. And I have a main channel. It's called Warnish. It's just called Warnish. You can go ahead and watch if you please. Can you leave? Can you leave, bro? I don't need to see my achievements. I want you to leave. You need to leave. And I'm gonna talk about something called the dopamine detox. Something that's fairly well known. Everyone's kind of trying to experiment with it. So here I have my notes. My notes are going to kind of lead me into this topic. I'm fairly new to this whole talking uh on this channel type thing, but I wanted to experiment and kind of bring light into other psychological topics that I feel like, other than specifically psychological channels, other people don't talk about in other venues of the platform. And so that's gonna be me. That's gonna be me. I'm gonna game, and I'm also gonna educate at the same time. So it's kind of cool, right? And I'm gonna be playing OG Minecraft while doing so. But enough of the yapping. The reason why dopamine detox is stupid is because we have a thing called a dopamine battery, or it's not specifically called that. But I watch a lot of Healthy Gamer GG. I take a lot of his advice very seriously. I like to hone in on a lot of things that he says because he is a psychiatrist. He's gone through medical school. He's got all the top-notch education, right? The guy knows what he's talking about. I bring that up because he is very underrated, in my opinion. A lot of people do not watch him because maybe there isn't a game in the background. Maybe there's something that I guess pertains that specific audience. Not a lot of people think that they need to learn psychology. A lot of people think that psychology is like getting into the brain and I don't know, learning to manipulate or um learning how to like use things like mind tricks to your advantage. But in actuality, I feel like psychology is just common sense. It's just how the brain works, and it teaches you things that you should have already known and that school should have probably already educated. Um but enough about that rant. The reason why I bring that up is because one factor is dopamine. We know nothing about how that affects us. And we think that a detox will help, but in actuality, we quite frankly need dopamine because boredom is boredom is like murder. You know, you would not do much of anything if you're constantly entertained. That's why we don't do much when we're on our phones, scrolling, for example. We're not, unless you're like multitasking, I guess, but you're not going to enjoy it to the same extent versus laying down in bed, doing nothing, scrolling. And it's a quick a piece of enjoyment, but we don't like it because it's a waste of time. We got nothing out of it. And obviously entertainment gets shorter and shorter, you know. There are probably going to be quicker ways to achieve proper dopamine hits other than shorts, TikToks, views, videos, whatever. Now, the reason why we should continue to have dopamine resurgence is because dopamine can be used for something good. We receive dopamine obviously when we commit to hard tasks, when we do something that felt fairly difficult and hard, like doing a workout that literally felt like you were dying, but that feeling is actually something that leads to something positive, and so you feel like you accomplished something, and it's a nice feeling to have. But leading back to the dopamine battery, we use up that battery each time we watch shorts, quick content, right? 5-second videos over and over and over again. This is an issue because we're not doing anything during this time. We can spend hours scrolling and not realize it because it feels so easy, it feels so quick, and it's a nice hit, kind of like a drug, which, by the way, short content can actually have the same effects as drugs to your brain. Been proven somewhere. I don't have my sources right now. I should have sources. I should really have sources on this thing. It's important to be very mindful of the information that you consume online, because oftentimes people who commit to a quote unquote dopamine detox, they'll resort to something else. You'll delete the app. You'll stop watching TikToks. You'll stop watching all the quick forms of content, and you'll start developing other habits that could give you the same sort of feeling, even if it's not something positive. Because a lot of us, we like to see negative things as a guilty pleasure, and therefore as a source of relaxation, instead of relaxing and drinking some tea or drinking something that's healthy for you, like some water or some natural juice. It just doesn't feel the same as like I don't know, like a nice cold beer or something. Or I don't know, it feels strange to say these things because in my opinion, beer and alcohol isn't not enjoyable at all. It's something you have to develop over time, and I don't like that. I don't like something controlling my relaxation. I just want, like, I'd rather take like a medication for that or something. Anyways, that's a personal thing, but it has the negativity towards it adds to it. You got this thing that's killing you, but in a way, it feels nice. It feels nice to have a little guilty pleasure that you shouldn't be indulging yourself in. You just keep doing it because it's like, I don't know, the fact that it gives you that it gives you a little high. It gives you a little burst. Like people who, for example, really accept a brain rot into their lives, their vocabulary, their free time, out of some sort of rebellion towards themselves, or just the fact that it's so stupid and looked down upon, that it's kind of funny, and people like place that a part of their lives. It's just kind of something that happens. Dopamine is meant to create an emotion of being proud of yourself. You take quick hints of dopamine, you're kind of just ruining that experience for yourself, because you're not going to want to commit to hard tasks all the time, especially when you have that in front of you. And even just an hour a day can really drain the soul out of you and just ruin a lot of the life that comes with committing to things that you find hard to do, really. But it does feel a lot better when you're doing a task that's just so draining, and then when it's over, you feel so good about it, versus scrolling for an hour, finally doing the task, and then waiting for that feeling, and then you just never receive it because you've wasted it for yourself. You swallowed it for yourself. So a dopamine detox is just kind of like an overwhelming sadness and boredom, which quite frankly could drive you insane. But I feel like the people who go through it are even lying themselves, because there are other ways of receiving dopamine that wouldn't be in their rule book. Like, you might end up resorting into binge eating, or committing maybe like over shopping. I know in my personal experience, because I'm not perfect, I have tried dozens of times, like mute social media, mute certain apps, just do certain things to keep myself from these quick shots of dopamine. But I just overshop. I spend too much money. I just get this, you get this strange high, especially me with a addictive personality, right? I can easily get addicted to things. It's a stressor. It's really a stressor. It's something that affects a lot of people. And my advice here is to say that dopamine is a survival instinct. Be okay with having dopamine. Be okay with having ooh, oh good feelings, emotions in your life. Like, sometimes it's nice to feel good about eating a meal, eating a nice meal, even if it's something inherently bad for you. Maybe you're indulging in a pint of ice cream, or whatever the hell. If you feel that you've worked hard and that you, I don't know, say you've eaten healthy for the past couple weeks and you want a little reward, then yeah, eat that ice cream and feel good about it. Don't feel like a little thinking gremlin in the middle of the night eating ice cream. That feeling isn't as satisfying as we think it is, like doing something because it feels bad. It's good to just separate yourself from your phone and commit to a task. Maybe use your phone for a certain limit of time as a solution. That's just one solution. The more you keep track of the things that you do on your phone, for example, the more it'll annoy you to even touch your phone. If you just keep track of how many minutes you've spent scrolling, and then maybe you annoy yourself with the timers that the phone can give you, or the apps that you're using can give you. Use those things to your advantage. Make using phones or devices or whatever's around you inconvenient, and make already committing tasks convenient, or tasks that can initially feel difficult to commit to but lead to positive benefits. Make those tasks a lot easier to do or feel easier to do, because at the end of the day it's how we feel. It's not exactly well, I might die. It's not exactly the work itself. Like, for example, most of us want to feel good when we go to the gym, and that's what keeps people to go to the gym. If we didn't feel good working out, people wouldn't work out. But people who force themselves to work out and don't feel good about it oftentimes don't go back to the gym and don't have the mindset, because they find the gym to be hard. They find the gym to be irritating and don't have a healthy relationship with it. If you do not set your brain to have a healthy relationship with the things, the tasks that you commit to, then it's going to be difficult, and it's going to be difficult to quit social media addiction, or scrolling, or whatever the hell. Um, which I'm personally one to talk. I'm not one to talk, but um, I have progressively gotten better at it as I prevented myself from allowing quick spurts of dopamine, allowing non-enjoyment with my devices, with the way that I want to appreciate my time, because these apps drain you out, they tire you out, and they are built to make you insecure. They're built to make you just feed off of them, and I personally don't want to live a life like that. Quite frankly, I don't think you should want to. In my experience, I just believe that living a life that pertains to tasks that you may think are a lot harder actually leads to an easier, more happier, and even lazier life, because it's more enjoyable, and you're giving yourself space, and you're giving yourself time to realize, hey, I'm actually here to enjoy everything around me, not just waste opportunities. It's a real thought, it's a real thinker. We usually use social media, we use all these platforms because we're not happy about something. Like, we use short-term content because we're not satisfied with something, right? So when we're not happy and we're not entertained about something, we go to these videos. And it's good to think about, like, why we click on that, why we click that rectangle every time we view the feed of Instagram, right? It's because we're bored. We want something else to happen. It's not happening. Or we want to see something interesting. It's natural to feel that way, but it's not natural to allow ourselves to succumb to that feeling. And it's not natural to allow corporations, companies to take advantage of us, and thrive off of these emotions. Take care of yourself, and thank you for listening to Warnish Radio. I hope you enjoy the nostalgic OG content. I will be continuing to create more of these if they receive positive feedback, and I'll get better at talking, because I know I suck. But I hope it's like relaxing. That's the whole point. It's relaxing. It's Slightly nostalgic, but also educational. I don't like watching these videos about advice and then they just talk about their life experience, or like they talk about their life specifically, but they don't reference anything. It's kind of just a meaningless tangent. Okay, thank you for tuning in. Until next time.